Our redrafters, I'm sure you've all seen plenty of primers for Phyrexia. All will be one draft and pre-release and all that stuff. So this is something a little bit different. It's something I do every release. It always seems to be popular. It's something I really like to do, but it doesn't always get a lot of videos. So be sure to share it around when you get a chance. It's an achievement list, a little bit like the achievements that you get for games on Xbox or the trophies you get on PlayStation. And sometimes I thought in the past, oh, it'd be cool if you could kind of get these little trophies to be unlocked on Arena, and here we are. So it's been called the bucket list in the comments sometimes as well. I'm still going with achievement list, but I'll put bucket list on from time to time because it is what my commenters have said they like. So yeah, I'm going for that. We're going to start off with some of the easier ones and then work us our way up to the ones which are going to be much more difficult to pull off or much more rare or be absolutely bonkers and be incredible if they actually got pulled off as we go through. So first of all, it's Phyrexia, all will be one. We have Toxic and we have the Toxic player. So you have to win through poison. That's it. You should probably do this by the end of the format. This is probably one of the easiest ones I've ever done, but an achievement in this format is to win with poison counters, so that had to go on and had to probably go on at this point. However, if you do want to make it a little bit more spicy, we'll have double kill. So you can kill by poison, you can kill by damage, you can kill by both at the same time in a number of ways. Creatures which can deal damage and give poison counters, and there's a lot of ways to do this. It'll be more difficult than just killing through poison by itself, but it is something which I think is definitely worth a shout out if you do manage to do it. Next up, and this is based on an uncommon, which is why it's at the bottom end of this list, we have HYDROMIEL. So we have Font of Progress in the format, which is an uncommon which can mill cards. And again, it probably isn't ridiculous to assume that you will use this to mill your opponent at some point, but I don't think it's the best card. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe if it's a really slow format, it'll be good, but there does seem to be some assertive ways to win in this format, so we'll have to wait and see. But it does seem like it's a definite win con which will be difficult to pull off, but it will happen from time to time. If you get a couple of these, it's probably not great because you still need to pay 3 each time, but if you get a load of counters on it, then it'll be milling loads every game, so every turn, so that's something maybe to aim for. Anyway, at this point, it is that time when I will sometimes put in a couple of codes for Arena. You can see them on your screen now. Again, big thank you to everybody who subscribes and likes the videos and just generally supports the channel in any way you can. You can tweet us on @PLD_MTG. That is where I would love to hear from you and see some screenshots if you do manage to pull any of these off. But like I said earlier, the best thing you can do is to share it with some friends and just say, what a cool video I've just found here. You should probably check it out because the guy is really cool who makes them. Anyway, that's all of the sappy stuff for now. We have a one here which isn't always possible to do, but it's pretty cool. You can do it, and I'm going to call it There's Always a Way Out, because this is one of the few ways in the game that you can draw the game. So with Infectious Inquiry, you draw 2 cards, you lose 2 life. That can obviously lose you the game, but then it also says each opponent gets a poison counter. So if you give them the last poison counter and you lose 2 life at the same time, you'll draw. I've never done a draw on Arena, I don't think, before. Maybe once, I'm not sure. Definitely not done it in Limited, so this would be pretty cool if you get to do. I'm not sure how 17 lands would deal with a draw, or how the results of the draft work with a draw, but I have to wait and see on that one. But I think it's definitely worth commenting on. This is a common, so it's getting the situation where it's doable is going to be difficult. You probably don't want to do it if you can win, because you don't want to draw when you can win, but if it saves you from a loss, it's pretty good. Getting into the more wacky stuff now, we've got LANDO number 9, and I couldn't really think of a good name for this one. Let us know if you can think of a better name for this one, but it's using Monument to Perfection, and it's turning into a 9/9 with Ward 9 and Toxic 9 when you have 9 spheres or basics or whatever on the battlefield. So this is probably bad. It's probably not a very good idea, but it's definitely possible. There's 5 basic lands you can play, there's 5 spheres at common, and there's 4 spheres at rare. So you have 10 at common that you can potentially just pick up anyway. Yes, it's difficult to draft all 5 of the spheres, but you can definitely get all of the basics in there. So it's probably not going to happen to most of us out there, whereas some of the rest could probably have happened to all of us so far. But it's going to be done sometimes, and it is really cool. When a card says you need to try and do the thing, it's worth trying to do the thing a lot of the time. And again, one of the more difficult ones, one of the more janky ones, does deserve to be on this list. We are in the top 3 now, so I'm going to start with All Will Be One. So this is a mythic, and you kind of need a mythic to do what I want to do with it, because you need a planeswalker as well. So All Will Be One deals damage to any target equal to the amount of counters that you put on something. Whenever you put counters on something, when a planeswalker comes in, you put counters on it. So All Will Be One will dome the opponent to the face for a lot of damage when you play something like a Nissa, and it comes in with 7 loyalty counters, and that's probably just enough to win. Is it 2 mythics? Yes, it is. There's some rare planeswalkers in the set as well, of course, though. But, when we get in the realms of having more than 1 rare or mythic, it is getting really bonkers. And talking about getting bonkers with more than one rare or mythic, we have TIMEWALK at home. So you can have the Ikamoon Gauntlet to get you an extra turn, but you also need a Planeswalker with 12 loyalty to do that, and that is going to be a little bit tricky. But it's, well, possible. Possible, yes. Likely, definitely not. But it is one of the more rare ones that we can get going here. And the final one is pretty cool one, actually, because it's one that we could have had in a previous set, and it is the Flawless Victory. If you don't know what a Flawless Victory is, it's winning when your opponent has 0 permanents on the battlefield. And you can do that with Phyrexia Obliterator, probably best done with a fight spell, so you can use the Phyrexia Obliterator, you can give it extra power and toughness, you can get it to fight something, and then the opponent has to sacrifice that number of permanents to Phyrexia Obliterator. And if you do that, then you can get in for the win, and you've probably just won at that point. But you know, this Flawless Victory is pretty sweet. It's when people saw Phyrexia Obliterator, that's what people were dreaming and doing, and it is number 1 on this list, even though it just really uses a rare. But to get to the point where you can actually get a full-on Flawless Victory and win, and the opponent doesn't just scoop when they've got like 3 or 4 permanents, it's the bit that makes it difficult. Anyway, that's it for this video. So if you have liked it, like I say, give it a like, give the channel a subscribe, share it with your friends, and let us know if you ever pull any of these off. Enjoy your pre-release, enjoy your first drafts, and I'll catch you later. Bye.